This AQA GCSE English Revision Lessons podcast is copyright Hodder Education 2011. Bad beginnings, worse endings. Listen carefully to the two passages which follow. They describe the first and last meetings between ruthless kingpin Mr. Punctuation and his girlfriend, Dolores. After you've finished listening to this podcast, you'll be asked to decide why they are effective as an opening and a conclusion to this story.
Mr. Punctuation sidled over to where Dolores stood tending the bar. "You should be a model," he said with his customary gruff growl. "Or a film star. I could put you in the movies." Dolores was dubious. She was brought up a good Catholic girl and doubted she would be comfortable performing in any movie that Mr. Punctuation could put her into. "I think we should get to know each other better. Break down the barriers, as it were. So I'll call you Dolores, and you can call me Mr. P." "Oh, thank you, Mr. P," said Dolores, playing the part of the dumb blonde. "I'm truly honoured." Mr. Punctuation smiled smugly, and Dolores smiled too, wondering how much he was worth and how much of his money she could siphon into her purse. But then a strong sensation of revulsion shivered down her spine and she gasped. Mr. Punctuation grinned, regarding it as an involuntary sign of his personal magnetism. Dolores grinned too. A very convincing, false grin that Mr. P interpreted as meaning that his luck was in. "You smooth dog," he thought to himself. "My God," thought Dolores, who was beginning to question her own relentless pursuit of money for the first time in her life. "I'll have to rob the safe. Any other way of getting my hands on his cash is completely unthinkable." Harry could just make out Dolores' recumbent figure lying lifeless in the shower of glass beneath the broken mirror by the bar. Many a time she'd looked into the glass for confirmation of her sexual attraction, but now the mirror seemed to have swallowed her up. Harry glimpsed a slow stream of blood oozing from a wound to the side of her head. Outraged, he stepped briskly towards Mr. P in a blind fury that was as ferocious as it was blind. Dolores may have been a player, but now she lay dead, and Harry felt greatly burdened by an immense weight of guilt. Mr. Punctuation suddenly produced the very same revolver that Harry had collected a little earlier that evening from Tommy Lagun. As Mr. P took aim, Harry ducked, taking the full force of the blast in his shoulder. A second shot rang out, hitting the fuse box and plunging the bar into darkness. As Harry lay cowering on the floor.
To be continued.